Hi, now we will look into how to do an audio configuration for different digital audio workstations. Let's start with reviewing the configuration that I had. So for the simple case, I will use Digitakt as it has 12 channels in and 2 channels out. And this will be simulating the kind of a basic sound card in general, where you have like 2 channels or two channels in and 2 channels out. To show how to configure a complex audio setup, I will use the aggregate device that I have created named PR Audio. This device has pretty much 58 channels in and 48 channels out, and it is aggregating Universal Audio Thunderbolt devices, a drum machine, and the drums. So this is a good one to use for a complex audio configuration in digital audio workstations. As we now have our background covered, let's jump into Reason to see how it is configured for the audio. Okay, let's see how Reason deals with audio configuration for external audio in and out. So in Reason, when you go to Reason and Preferences, you'll find audio from here. And of course, now I have my main audio device selected, the PR Audio, and I have selected, the channels that I'm using, and I have disabled the channels that I'm not using. So the same for input channels and output channels, but we'll start with the simple example, and we go and select the Digitakt. Now it is changing the audio device. Now it is changed. I cannot disable these 2 channels that are going out because they are the only ones, but I could basically disable or enable channels that are coming in or going out. However, I'm not able to name them. So this is a bit kind of funny, because I didn't find any way to kind of change these to be more meaningful than just input 1 and 2 and so on and so forth. So at least this is a bit tedious in my opinion. But anyway, let's say OK and see how we could use those channels in audio configuration. But now we need to remember what was what. And let's add a track, create an audio track. So now we have an audio track, and we can define that as a stereo input. And then also say that, OK, take the input from 1 and 2. And that should be pretty much that is actually the Digitakt stereo channel. And then let's add a track for that, for the Moog, which is mono 1. And we use channel 11, so I really need to now remember what the heck is the number that I used. Anyway, now they are configured accordingly, so you have the 11 here, and then you have the stereo for this one. Digitakt input 1 and 2, and this one is pretty much the 11. So let's see if we get some sounds out from the stereo first. And we do, so it works. And let's see. And also now in its individual channel in 11. So in principle this works great, and no major things here. The only thing that I didn't find out that how to name this input 1 and 2 to something meaningful. There might be a way, but I didn't discover that at least yet. So if you have an idea, please let me know in comments below. It would be really helpful. Anyway, I have this now set up as you can see, and that's pretty much it. Let's convert back to the more challenging configuration with the peer audio device that has a lot more options in that sense. And now it reverted back to peer audio. However, it activated all my input channels, so it omitted my configuration from the past, which is a bit kind of a bugger. It did remember the configuration for output channels, but it didn't remember the configuration for the input channels, which is funny. So I need to kind of go and mark these away. And I remember though they start from 17 and go all the way to 32. And then they start again from 43 onwards. But we can always revisit the seat sheet and see that how it goes. So yeah, 17, 18 are the, and of course the microphone channel are, and 1 and 2 are the first ones as they are already enabled. Then 17, 18 all the way to 31, 32, and then 43, 44 all the way to 55. And then of course if I would have my V drums I would have even more. But as I don't have the V drum currently, so this is it pretty much when it comes to the configuration. And now I need to remember that this 43, 44 is from TR8S, and then the kick drum is the 45, as I cannot name them. Something maybe to consider next time when doing a roadmap planning for Reason 12 features. Okay, so let's change this. This has also of course reset it, but now we need to go 45, which is the kick, and then kick. This is now that one, and then for the digital digit stereo, this is like the TR8S, but then of course it's not there, it's actually here. So now I have changed that as well, so let's see how that goes when I press play. And that works. So at least we figured that part out. Then I would need to understand how I do an audio route out. And that's a one interesting thing to kind of do in Reason. At least what I know is that, and I'll open this one because I need to open it, and I need to go to hardware interface, and I need to go audio I/O to see all my channels, and then I also need to enable them, so so that I'm able to basically configure all these. So I have the input is colored, it's in own color, and then the output as well. However, now I see all these, but then I hope that it's the ones that are currently like LED or lid. The LED is lid are the ones, but they aren't. So I can select for a bigger meter. I can select the one that I'm listening, but I want to listen my stereo out for the bigger meter. So then I go over here, I would say. However, I don't get left and right here on the, but of course this is mono anyway, so the main signal coming in is in mono. Anyway, if I would need to route things out from Kick, I would actually need to go over here and then see, that if I would like to use now the channel 17 and 18 for audio out, I can from here I can select the pre-out or kind of direct out from here. So now if I route this to there, now my Kick is going into audio output, and then of course I could return it back into any, but this is at least how I figured out to do an audio routing from a device to out, and I could do it pre-out, so it's basically pre, and this is post direct in my understanding, and so this is at least how I understood that it works. So let's press play and see that if we start to get the LEDs blinking here. And I guess I need to arm the track as well. Now it is going definitely out. Yeah, now I can see, though, at least here, of course, I don't hear anything because I'm not routing it back in. But I can see that the audio is going now from Kick, it's going out, and also here I don't see that it goes to master as it goes to an external out channel. How about if I just delete these? And now it returns back to the master section, and now I hear it again, so it doesn't go out anymore. But this is how you route the audio out from Reason, and then of course you can route audio in. But we'll do later practical examples using synthesizers and using effects to do these things, and to have them more practical. Then also seeing that how I can actually configure this, hopefully in a way that I don't need to remember what is what, and I can recall them easily into Reason or any other DAW that we are working with. So let's stop the Kick, and that's all, folks. This concludes configuring the audio settings in Reason. Next we will see how to configure MIDI and external MIDI devices in different digital audio workstations, starting from the Ableton Live. Remember to subscribe for the channel. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye now.